Welcome to Samba City.
You've probably heard of Brazilian Carnival, also known as one of the biggest parties in the world. In Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, the most famous dance is the samba, and in an effort to explore more of the origins of this world-renowned festival, I decided to visit Samba City, where they prepare the making of the greatest show on earth.
Just portions of the floats are massive. This thing is huge.
Like my shoulder pads, as if my shoulders weren't big enough.
We are currently here in Samba City in the neighborhood of Gamboa, Rio de Janeiro. And basically Samba City is a complex with 14 different warehouses. And right now 12 of those warehouses represent a different samba school. So we're gonna get an insider look into one of the largest samba schools, Grande Rio. And essentially it's where they prepare for Carnival. So they have a lot of their old floats there, old costumes. And we're also gonna learn a little bit of samba dancing and talk to one of the Passistas there as well. And Passista is a samba dancer. So let's go ahead and take a look. Ready? Let's get our samba on. She's preparing for the samba dancing. These are all costumes from Carnival, from last year's Carnival. Inside the rooms, we're actually not allowed to go in there because those are more secretive as far as next year's Carnival and the costumes that they're preparing. But these are all some of the previous costumes. Down here is where they're taking down a lot of last year's floats. But they try to reuse as much as possible. So for all of the previous costumes, they try to make use of it as much as possible for next year's Carnival as well.
Next, we learned a little bit of how they organize the samba schools, and essentially each school is assigned a theme where they then create floats and costumes off of.
The theme of our Samba school this year were about bad behavior. If we have 3,000 people and then 7 floats plus a theme, we are going to create 6 sub-themes according to the theme that we have. This block we're talking about the way that we behave in the traffic. Drink and drive, talking on the phone while you were driving, then you have an accident, and then boom, it's like that, float. 100 people, 100 people, 100 people, 100 people, 100 people, float. And then we have the solution, science and education together to change the perspective. So we have the Einstein float. And then we have peace, because if we can change the problems, we can have peace.
Essentially, the samba schools would use irony and sarcasm to express their displeasure with the government and people's desire for freedom. And this massive parade is held annually a few days before Lent. The word Carnival actually comes from the Latin word carnevale, or farewell to the flesh. The origins of Carnival actually dates back to the early 1600s and was later influenced by samba music and Afro-Brazilian culture in the 1900s.
Time to learn some samba dancing.
I then had the wonderful pleasure of learning how to samba dance one-on-one with Gabby, one of the Passistas, and I will say it was very cool getting to learn how to samba while in Brazil, where it originated, and I later had the chance to talk to Gabby about her story, and you can tell she is just so passionate about samba dancing. It was really cool getting to learn from her and dance alongside her.
Now you're gonna have to teach her.
Oh yeah, okay, samba.
Very good.
Abre.
Yeah, very good.
Mais rápido.
Hands.
Gira.
Spinning. Yeah.
Obrigada, meninas.
Thank you, girl.
1, 2, 3 e fantasia! Everyone got a wear costume. This is not a question.
Let's choose a samba outfit.
Next, it was time to put on some samba outfits and experience a little more of what it feels like to be a samba dancer.
My sister's turn. Oh, getting dressed. Oh, nice outfit, Ariel. Very royal. Got my hat up here. Whoa, almost fell off there. This is kind of heavy, actually. I like the blue. It's great on you.
I feel like a queen.
How do you feel? Do you feel like a samba dancer?
Not yet, not till I start dancing.
Ooh, I feel like a samba dancer today. Right. So we are currently in our samba outfits right now.
I like my shoulder pads. As if my shoulders weren't big enough.
Ooh, I'm really digging this outfit. Costumes off. I had fun wearing the samba costumes. No more samba costumes.
Done, it's over.
After the dance performance, I talked to Gabby, and she's been part of samba school Grande Rio since she was 6 years old. So I asked about her story and how samba has impacted her.
So tell me a little bit about samba dancing since you were 6 years old and being a part of Carnival experience.
Eu comecei na Pimpolhos, eu tinha 6 anos de idade, a minha família toda é sambista e eu fui através da minha tia. Minha tia na época ela era passista, depois se tornou uma das coordenadoras da aula de passista.
She grew up seeing her family doing samba. Her auntie was Passista, and then her auntie became the coordinator of the Passista. It's like a principal of the school. Then she started in Polish with 6, went until 14, and then she moved to Grande Rio, and then she did courses, rehearsals, and then until she became a professional dancer as she is today.
How has being a part of Carnival experience impacted you?
Pra mim é maravilhoso, muda tudo. Eu trabalho com o que eu gosto. Já tô na escola de samba desde meus 6 anos e você trabalhar.
She said that for her, this is everything because she does what she loves, so she never wake up and be like, oh my god, I have to work. The opposite. She wakes up and did, oh my god, I have to work. She likes to transmit that happiness, this feeling of being part of something bigger and great. This is grateful.
Amazing. Thank you.
Obrigada, thank you.
Time for the next experience. How was it?
Seguir pra caipirinha.
Deixa eu tirar a máscara.
First caipirinha in Brazil. Did I say it right? It's good. Cheers. Oh, it's good. It's good.
We ended the day exploring the downstairs area where a lot of the old floats were getting deconstructed, and then explored the outside area of the complex of Samba City.
I'm gonna see what my favorite float is after exploring just the outside of the other schools. Just portions of the floats are massive. But it makes sense though, like imagine how many people get on top of these things. Like it makes sense that it's supposed to be that big. That's huge. Look at this massive hand. That's pretty cool. But yeah, each school has a different theme. I'm not sure what this school's theme was, but as we can see there's a gold hand. Incredibly huge bear here. Each of the floats that they make every year, they try to recycle them and use them for the next year's, and you can actually buy them off of one another. You know, imagine throwing that away. Like they could potentially use it for a future carnival and create something new. This is huge. I don't know if you can see a size check, but it's just one portion of an old float, I'm assuming. Typically for a float, they have about 80 people, 80 to 100 people that's inside of the float, and then outside of the float will be like around 100 or so people that is like marching on the parade. But this is massive in and of itself. Made out of
styrofoam.
Some kind of styrofoam. Oh, hello. Oh, look. One of the workers here in Samba City that is tearing down the previous floats and everything. So shout out to all of the workers, of course, that make all of this incredible parade, party possible. I think that's what's really cool about Samba City too, is even just walking around is obviously for any kind of enormous, we think of it as like the biggest party in the world, right? Carnival. There's a lot of people that need to come together to make it happen. You've got your workers here that we're seeing. You got the people that are in the schools that are learning and taking part of the competition, people that are making the costumes, people that are making the floats. So it's a whole ordeal. This is what the lady was saying is like one of the solutions.
What kind of solution is that?
Oh, like peace or order or something like that, harmony. But this warehouse complex, these are all for the adult Samba schools. And then they also have kids Samba schools as well. And they all compete in Carnival. I think for me, after exploring, I think my favorite float, I think I like that one, honestly. I don't know. I like that one, and I think I like the peacock as well. Any thoughts, Ariel, on exploring Samba City and the whole Carnival experience?
I mean, yeah, I had no idea the background of Carnival. I probably would not have imagined the amount of work that goes into creating floats for parades. There's so many moving parts, I feel like, to putting together the parade and then to the dancing, to the costumes. It's awesome.
Yeah, and something else I just realized as you mentioned that is all the people that put it together, like local artists probably put together this kind of stuff, like architects and then you have also like the dancers, people with different skills but also different passions get to come together to create Carnival.
So after spending the day in Samba City and learning more about how Carnival comes to life, I gained such a greater appreciation for the festival and Samba dancing. It's so crazy how something that is so well known from around the world, many of us still have no idea what it celebrates, how it works, and how it comes to life. So hopefully you learned something from this video, and if you get the chance to visit Samba City for yourself, it's an amazing way to experience Brazilian culture. That's gonna be it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't yet, and comment below letting me know what your favorite thing from this video was.